first, I'll start off. Prism Person is not like a rapper name or like a stage name that I made up. I get that a lot, which I realize it's a little confusing. But no, it's not. Oh, someone's watching in HD. That's wonderful. Somebody. It's not a rapper name. It's not my stage name or a pseudonym or anything like that. It is closer to a like a brand name or a calling card or like a flag that you would fly, and we'll get into that later. We'll get into kind of the flag and the brand and all that stuff. So, and I'll do my best to keep this brief and interesting and brief and informative. So, what is a prism person? So, a prism person is basically anybody who aims to use all of their skills and talents. Someone who really strives to be like everything that they want to be. And the reason I say that is because sometimes I feel like people in life will limit themselves towards two to five things. But I truly believe that everybody, every single person has the ability to be a just a huge broad spectrum of things. Whether or not they do is completely up to them, right? So it's my goal as kind of the prison person, the first, to encourage other people to really be everything that they want to be. The reason I feel this way is kind of tied into old days, I guess. Old days, my past. I'm not super old, but I was a child once, and now I am not. So like when I was younger, maybe 10 to 12, I never really took to anything. It's not so much that I was bad at anything, but I never picked something up and was just inherently good at it. I had to work a lot to get good at things, which was to my benefit because I found out that the limit to which I could perform, I totally got tongue tied, but my limit is much further than what I originally had thought. So it's just really great thing. I'll use myself as an example. So, I wasn't, or at least I didn't believe I was the best at, something like school, math, especially. But then I worked harder and I spent a lot of time in libraries going over equations, reading books, and then I got good at math. Um, Music, especially, I didn't really take to. I played guitar since I was a kid, which we'll get to in the next story time. But it's not like I picked it up and was just a little, I don't know, Slash or Hendrix or something like that. I worked really hard to get to where I am at now. Um, so just things like that, and those are just little examples. Writing, especially, writing raps, especially, I was terrible at. I wrote, I guess, my first rap in 2013, and I didn't use a single one of those for this upcoming project. Everything on this upcoming project was written 2014 and beyond. So I spent a whole year being terrible at rapping because it was something that I wanted to be good at. So going into the end, let's talk about how. How how do you prism? And I boiled it down to about three things. Thing number one is find your source of light. Find your source of life. Mine is Jesus Christ. I recommend it for everybody. He works out. He works out pretty good for me. But you got to find your source of light. So if you've seen a prism, if you know what a prism, if you're not familiar, it is like this piece of glass, essentially, that is in a weird shape. Some are pyramids, some are cylinders, some are cubes, and it all depends. And different prisms will shine in different ways because of physics. But you've got to find a source of light. If there's no source of light, then it's just a piece of glass, a little chunk of glass that doesn't do anything. So First is find your source of light, and since you're a human, find your source of life. Find something that really energizes you and start with that. Second is work those angles. So the way prisms work is that it's all about angles, because the way light goes into, and I'll get into the science of it a little bit more than I thought, but light travels through this piece of glass and it bends again, and then it'll come out as a different color or a spectrum of colors depending on what angle you go. The light comes into the chunk of glass. So you've got to work your angles, which really means to just try everything. Try cooking. If you don't like cooking, which I do not want to be a cook. But try cooking, try drawing. If you don't like drawing, try writing. Try writing songs, try writing different types of songs. Try drawing. If you don't like drawing, try painting. Maybe painting is your thing. If it's not painting, maybe you're good at taking pictures. If it's not taking pictures, maybe you're good at telling people how to take pictures, and you should start directing movies and whatnot. If it's not directing, maybe it's acting. If it's not acting, you can be a producer. So just try everything and work your angles. And then 3, which is the step that I'm working on now, is shine with others. So find other people who are willing or trying to shine their lights and work with them, which is the step I'm at now. And I'll tell you guys this again and again. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. So I'm just working towards trying to find people. If you want to work with me, let me know. Hit me up in my DMs. I don't know where they would be at. Just hit me up in the DMs. You can send me an emails. I got my email on my page as well. So that's it. This was probably the shortest story of all of the stories, but I think it was a good place to start. Thanks everybody who tuned in. Thanks everybody who's watching at a later date. If you have questions, you can send me questions. The great thing about being at this point in my career is that I basically have a personal connection to just about everybody who is interested in viewing my videos or liking my pictures or stuff like that. So it's great interacting with you guys. But that's it. Bye.